The headmaster of Jan Vandersloot's former school knew more about Natalee's disappearance than he lets on. Earlier we spoke to two friends of the Holloway family who did their own investigating on the island of Aruba. Mitch and Charlie, thank you both for joining us.
You're very welcome.
You're very welcome.
Let me start first with you, Mitch. When do you remember arriving in Aruba in 2005?
Yes. Wednesday morning, about 11 o'clock.
What did you do when you got there, Mitch? What was the day like?
First thing we did was went straight to the hotel to meet Jug and Beth. And we got there, met them, and then the first person we talked to was the chief of police. I think his name was Vanderstraten, Jan Vanderstraten.
Charlie, were you with Mitch this whole time? Did you arrive with him?
I sure did. I was with him the whole time.
All right. After you met with Vandersloot, did there come a time when you went to the international school? I mean Vanderstraten, I'm sorry, Vanderstraten.
Yes, Greta. We actually went there the next day.
Why did you go to that school?
Well, we were looking for Jan. We wanted to talk to him and try to find out where he went, what school he attended, and just helping any way that we possibly could to find Natalee.
Mitch, when you got to the school, did you talk to anybody?
Yes, we were told that there was a school that he went to, and we went to that school, and they said, no, he's not here. We had carried some of the posters that we had that said missing with Natalee's photograph on it to pass out to try to aid in the search for her. And the chief of the school, he was a headmaster there, said he doesn't go to school here, and if you would, please don't put any more of this around my school. And so we said, certainly, we won't do that. On leaving, we went across the street and got in the car, and he came across the street. He actually jaywalked, and he said, I wouldn't want my name used or to say that I told you this, but he goes to the international school, and he's there now, and I understand he's sleeping over there, possibly in a sleeping bag.
Who told you this?
So we went to the international school straight from there.
Okay, so
the headmaster at one of the other schools.
Okay, so Charlie, you then went to the international school. What happened when you got there?
When we got there, we met the headmaster of the international school, myself and a couple other friends that were with us, and Mitch and another friend stayed out in the lobby, and we spoke with the headmaster asking if he knew the whereabouts of Jan or anything about Natalee's disappearance.
What did he tell you, Charlie?
He told us some quite interesting facts, as a matter of fact, that Paulus and Uriah had been there a day or two before, that Paulus was trying to explain for his son that what had happened, and then he started to explain that his son had taken Natalee out to the lighthouse, that she wanted to see sharks, and that at some point she had fallen, and he was just volunteering information, but also saying what a good boy Jan was, and how the father was about to be a judge, and that he was a very upstanding citizen of Aruba, and it was really apparent to us that he was doing the best he could to cover for him.
Mitch, what was your impression of the headmaster? Did you get the sense that he was straight talking, or were you suspicious of him?
I was very suspicious because the first thing he said was she may have drowned, and the way these currents are, they would carry her out to sea. You would never find the body. He mentioned that the night that she went missing, probably they couldn't tell she came back to the hotel because the cameras were not working. How would he know these things unless he was coached into it? And I was suspicious of what he had to say because from the day one, this thing appeared to be cover-up. The police seemed to be, their main objective was to protect Jan, and the heck with finding Natalee.
Why do you say that, Mitch?
Vanderstraten told us, he said, I don't think I could arrest my best friend's son. I'm his godfather, and I honestly don't think that he's guilty. He is a witness. And I said, well, it's kind of strange. That's the last person that saw her. And he said, well, we're working on another angle on that. And that angle was the two black men that were security guards. They were going to try to blame it on them. I felt like it from day one. We could tell that they didn't want us there. They were very uncomfortable with us being around them because they were trying to cover it up.
Is there anybody else in the investigation that you met that you have a thought about whether the person was, doing his job or her job or not, or are you suspicious of?
One of the things that was really strange about it, Greta, to me was we had a meeting with them and we had 25 questions to ask them. They wouldn't answer a single one of them.
Who's they?
And
The
they
police?
said
Do you mean by the police?
Well, this is really the odd thing. The police are supposed to be investigating Natalie's disappearance, but they told us in the meeting that the investigation, the people in charge of it, was the Aruban Tourism Department, which I thought was a little bit strange. It appeared to me that they weren't trying to investigate anything. It was damage control. They were worried about tourism, not finding Natalee.
Mitch, this is the first time I'm hearing that the tourism was involved, and that's particularly interesting to me. Did they say anything else about the tourism division at any time to either one of you?
All they would tell us was every question we asked, we cannot answer that question. If we had anything to give them in the form of any sort of evidence, it disappeared. And you could ask what happened, they wouldn't tell